They thought you were just another name, another face, another fleeting moment in their forgettable little world. How wrong they were. Because you were the knife they never saw coming, the blade disguised as a whisper, at the edge they didn't realize they were playing with until they felt it. And once the knife touches skin, there's no turning back, is there? Most people live wrapped in their cozy illusions, stumbling through life half asleep. But then they met you. They wandered too close to the abyss of your mind, leaned in a little too much, and felt that sharp, undeniable truth slice through their illusions. And now, they will never be the same. Oh, they'll try to forget, try to pretend it never happened. But the mark has been made. The wound has been left. Some will hate you for it, call you cruel, dangerous, even monstrous, because it's easier to call you a villain than to face the fact that you were the only real thing they had ever encountered. But others will be obsessed. They'll study you, follow your every move, try to understand what makes you unbreakable. But they will never grasp it, will they? Because the power you wield was not given, it was earned. Earned in silence, in suffering, in the long, lonely nights where you sharpened yourself into something unforgettable. And that is why they will never truly let you go. You cut through them in ways they'll never admit. You shook the very foundations of who they thought they were. And while they sit there, haunted by your presence, trapped in memories of the moment your knife touched their soul, you're already gone. Because while they sit there, bleeding, trying to convince themselves it was just a scratch, just a moment, just a passing shadow in their otherwise predictable little existence, the truth is still cutting through them. You didn't just leave a scar, you left a lesson. A lesson they didn't ask for. A lesson they weren't ready for. A lesson they will never forget. Because when somebody gets too close to something real, to something dangerous, to something that doesn't fit neatly into their comfortable little world, they only have two choices: fear it or worship it. And oh, how they fear you, not because you harmed them. No, you didn't have to. You never had to. The knife was never in your hand, it was in your presence. Your mind, your words, your energy, they felt it. It sliced through them. And now they know. Oh, they know that the life they had before you was a lie. See, that's the real tragedy, isn't it? Not that they lost you, but that they lost the version of themselves that was blind to the truth. And now they ache for ignorance. They crave the comfort of not knowing what they know now. But the past is a place they can never return to. And they can try. Oh, they can try to forget. Try to bury your name. Try to erase the echo of your laughter, your fire, your undeniable, unshakable existence. But no matter how hard they run, you are still there. A whisper in their thoughts, a shadow in their dreams, a phantom they can never quite shake. And you don't even have to look back. While they are stuck in yesterday, trapped in the wreckage of who they were before they met you, you are already ahead, sharpening yourself, growing, evolving into something even more lethal. And that is what destroys them the most. Because while they are busy licking their wounds, while they are busy rewriting history to make themselves feel safe, while they are busy pretending they never felt your knife, you are already becoming the next storm they won't survive. And that is why they will always remember you. Because you are not just a person. You are a reckoning, a force of nature, a reminder of everything they were too weak to embrace. So let them run. Let them talk. Let them fear. Because in the end, they got too close. And now, they will never be the same. And neither will you. Because every time someone feels your power, every time someone recoils in awe, in fear and fascination, you remember, you were never just a moment. You were never just a phase. You were the knife that cut through their illusions. Ah, yes. But what they never realized, what they never could have understood, is that their words were never daggers, only dull, rusted nails scratching against the steel of your existence. Because the truth, the real truth, it cuts deeper than any knife. It doesn't leave a wound, it leaves a void, a space inside them that they can never fill again. Because they saw you, not the version they wanted, not the mask they could understand, not something comfortable, but the raw, untamed, undeniable reality of you. A beast, the monster, the angel, the one thing they could never control, and that terrified them. So what did they do? They lashed out, but they called you names. They tried to shrink you, to reduce you to something small, something manageable, something that fit inside their pathetic little rules. Degenerate, freak, not normal. As if those words had power, as if those insults could bend you, break you, silence you. Oh, but they never understood, did they? They never realized that every word they spat, every insult they hurled, every pathetic attempt to diminish you, was nothing more than a reflection of their own fear, their own smallness, their own weakness. Because what they feared most wasn't your darkness. It wasn't your fire. It wasn't the sharp, cutting truth that you existed beyond their comprehension. No. What they feared most was that you were right, that you were something greater, something untouchable, something they could never hope to be, and so they did what the weak always do. They tried to destroy what they could not understand. But you, oh you never needed their approval. You never needed their acceptance. You never needed them to see you, because you have always seen yourself. So let them talk. Let them whisper. Let them drown in their own insignificance. Because while they rot in their bitterness, trapped in their mediocrity, and you are still becoming, still rising, still evolving into something even more dangerous, even more untamed, even more legendary. And that is why they will never forget you, because they tried to cut you with words. But you You carried the truth. And the truth cuts deeper than any knife ever could. And that, my friend, is why you win. Creeks, monsters, angels. These are the ones who run the world, not the weak, not the silent, not the ones too afraid to step outside the fragile little boxes they were placed in. No, the ones who dare, the ones who burn normal to the ground and dance in the ashes, the ones who refuse to be tamed, to be softened, to be made digestible for the weak and the weary. Because let's face it, normal is a prison, a cage built by the fearful to contain the extraordinary. And you were never meant to be contained. So wear your clown makeup in public. Speak louder than they say you should. Take up more space than they're comfortable with. Because it takes balls to be yourself in a world that wants you to be anything but. Let them look. Let them whisper. Let them scoff and pretend they don't envy you. Because deep down, they do. They wish they had the nerve to be unapologetically themselves. They wish they could shatter expectations the way you do. They wish they could be the freak they were meant to be. But they won't. Because it's easier to point fingers than it is to step into the fire. Easier to mock than to evolve. Easier to pretend they don't see you. When the truth is, they can't stop staring. Because you are everything they were too afraid to become. And that makes you dangerous. So go on, freak. Set the world ablaze. Make them watch. Because while they waste their days trying to fit in, you were born to stand out. And when they see you standing there, unshaken, untamed, something inside them breaks. Because the truth cuts deeper than any knife ever could. The truth that you are the beast they feared in the dark. The monster they whispered about behind closed doors. The angel they could never reach, with wings they were too afraid to grow themselves. They tried to diminish you. Tried to maim you, to shrink you into something smaller, something they could understand, something they could control. Freak. Degenerate. Not normal. As if normal was ever something to be proud of. But those words, they weren't meant for you. They were confessions. Their weakness, their fear, their insecurities, spilled from their lips like venom they hoped would poison you. But poison only works on those who don't already thrive in the darkness. And you were forged in it. So let them hate. Let them stare. Let them write you off as too much. Because you are too much. Too wild, too powerful, too awake for a world that begs for sleep. And the ones who call you monster, they do so because they know you are something they will never be, something they wish they had the courage to become. Puss freaks, monsters, angels. They don't just survive, they run the world, not by asking for permission, not by playing by the rules, but by rewriting the script entirely. And the best part, you don't even have to try, because your existence alone, that shatters them. every step you take, every word you speak, every breath you own. It reminds them that they are caged and you are free. So don't you dare shrink yourself. Don't you dare quiet your fire to make them comfortable. Wear your mask. Wear your war paint. Wear your chaos like a crown. Let them fear you. Let them envy you. Because deep down, they all know you are the freak they wish they could be. And that makes you unstoppable. And, oh yeah, if you really like this content, subscribe to my free newsletter and get free updates on videos. If you are interested, comment Joker below this video. Like, comment, and subscribe and tell the Batman I said hello.